Hello and welcome to Ground Zero, where I discuss different topics. This week's topic is the new Netflix show, The Order. The Order is about this guy, his name is Jack, whose mother killed herself because of some other guy who is basically like the top executive, I guess you could say, of this cult, which is The Order. Like, that's their name, and it ties in with the title of the show. And he wants revenge, and his grandfather also wants revenge. So they have him go to the school where the Order kind of initiates itself with, to have him sneak in or join the Order so he can kind of get closer to this man who was also his father. His name is Edward, and essentially they're gonna either try and find out if there's anything bad about him and get him arrested, or like essentially do what you do when you get revenge, I guess, which is like kill him, I guess, since he was the reason why their mom died. And essentially it's like, okay, at first it doesn't seem all that weird, but it turned out the Order has a lot to do with like magic and different supernatural things. So it's kind of like, your ordinary show where there's magic and stuff. And then in later episodes, in a couple other episodes, essentially there's another group that are werewolves, and he ends up joining them also, and they're trying to fight the Order as well. And they kind of use him as an inside man, so whenever something's going on, they can stop it, because the werewolves kind of have like a spider sense, where whenever someone's doing magic, they'll know it's happening. So it's basically Jack's in the middle between the Order and them, and then there's this other girl that's his love interest that does find this out, but she doesn't tell on him to like the people of the Order. And Edward, who kind of runs the show for the Order, is trying to get this book that'll make him that's basically the embodiment of magic, and make him like the most powerful being. And he says that the reason that he wants to use it is to get rid of like peanut allergies in people, because his son's allergic to peanuts. But he does just end up getting turned more evil because of the power of this book. And I'm not gonna say what happens near the end, so you can watch it on your own. But essentially it's kind of like every other supernatural movie, and the settings is mainly the school, but they're usually mostly in like buildings, and the place of the Order is kind of like a church, I guess, like a cathedral, because it's really tall, especially for it being underground, which I guess magic or something. But this first season ended, and like the second season's probably coming out either later this year or next year. And honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if they introduce vampires, especially the way this show is going, or other different mythical monsters in this show. Especially, it's a supernatural show, so you're gonna see things that you've seen before in other ones. Like, there's just like a few different elements in it, I guess, like magic, werewolves. Like right now they're just strictly doing that, but other than that there's not much difference to it. Like, especially like romance, that's another thing that's usually you'll see in shows. But other than that, it's like kind of the same, but it's still interesting to watch, and I would recommend it if you're looking for something to watch. Anyways, that's all for this week's video. I will see you all next week.